In today's discussion, I'll just recall about transmission coefficient and then we will continue this discussion. Already we have covered this topic. So let me briefly recall what all transmission coefficient is all about. We have already studied the reflection coefficient. It is the ratio of reflected voltage or the current at the load end to the incident voltage, that is a wave, reflected wave to the incident wave. However, transmission coefficient, it is the ratio of transmitted voltage to the incident voltage. So what is the transmitted voltage or transmitted value? If you are feeding the power here, at this particular point, you can see some part gets transmitted and some part gets reflected. So whatever incident will not be equal to transmitted. Some part will always be reflected back if there is a mismatched condition at the load end. Hence, if you take the ratio of whatever in wave is transmitted overall, the final value to the incident value, we call this transmission coefficient. Reflection coefficient is a tau, a transmission coefficient is capital T. Okay, and if we take these notations PINC, PTR and PREF as the incident power, transmitted power and reflected power respectively, according to the law of conservation of energy, we can write this equation. At this particular node, whatever incident power is there, it splits. Okay, transmit it will, some part will get transmitted and some part will get reflected, so that if you add these two, you will get the total incident power. Okay, incidence is equal to transmitted plus reflected. With that keeping in mind, we have taken L is the suffix we use, the subscript we use to indicate the value at the load end. We know that a reflection coefficient is given by this equation. Already we have derived it, and it is the ratio of a reflected value to the incident value, V minus by V plus. With this, we are rearranging this particular equation of tau so that we will express V minus in terms of V plus. That is what this star equation is all about. V minus whatever reflected value is there, it is expressed in terms of V plus. Okay, we will see now how to get the transmission coefficient value. We know that this is the equation for time being, don't take this. Okay, this is the equation for transmission line. We have already derived. This is one of the equation. V is equal to V plus e raised to gamma. We had taken Z there in transmission line solution. Here we, as length we are considering L, replace Z by L. We want the equation for the traveling wave, finally transmitted wave at the load end. That's why I'm using a suffix subscript here, just to indicate that this is your final final value of the voltage which is coming, arriving at the load end. Okay, so that's why incident plus reflected is equal to transmitted. Sorry, incident is equal to transmitted plus reflected. Now what I will do, V plus, the first term I will keep it as it is. Instead of second term, you can see second term is about V minus, okay, reflected wave. But in the star equation, already we have expressed V minus in terms of V plus. So let us substitute that. I have substituted that V plus and this bracket term ZL minus Z naught by ZL plus Z naught is equal to RHS is as it is. Rearranging these terms, what I'll take, e raised to gamma L is common in both LHS and RHS. They gets cancelled if you take it common on the LHS side. So V plus is also common at the LHS. Take V plus common. First term you will get 1 plus second term. This will cancel. V plus is common. So only this bracket term will be there. So that is the bracket term is equal to VTR. Now take the LCM. If you take the LCM here, in this bracket, take the LCM. LCM will be ZL plus Z naught. This multiply it with 1, ZL plus Z naught plus, so this plus I am rating as it is, and ZL minus Z naught. ZL minus Z naught. So all four terms, Z naught terms gets cancelled. ZL will be added. So 2 ZL divided by ZL plus Z naught V plus I'm keeping it as it is, VTR as it is. So take just rearrange this equation. Take the ratio of VTR, take this V plus to the RHS denominator. So VTR divided by V plus is nothing but the traveling wave divided by V plus is your incident wave, right? You can see V plus is your incident wave and V minus is a reflected wave. So V plus is incident wave. So I can replace this as VTR by V incident. So what is the ratio we call this? V transmitted voltage by incident voltage. It is nothing but transmission coefficient T. So replace this ratio by T. So I am replacing this ratio by T. T is equal to 2ZL by ZL plus Z0. So this is the equation we got for transmission coefficient. Hope you understood this. Any doubts? You can put it in the chat box. Moving on further, we have one more equation which will give us the relationship between T and tau. So this is important one. If you see your question paper, many times this question is asked. Either the question is explain reflection coefficient and transmission coefficient, A. Okay, in the question, first point is A. Second point, derive the relationship between them. Or the question may be get the final expressions for reflection and transmission coefficients. So these two are the possibilities. This is important one. By making use of the circuit, we will make use of the circuit and we will derive the relationship between transmission coefficient and reflection coefficient tau. Okay, so let us start. This is a separate point. Okay, till this 2 points are over. Now I'm dealing with the relationship. We know that the incident power at the load is given by, I am referring to this particular circuit. Just look at the circuit, analyze it. We will try to write the expressions for powers and we will try to reduce them. So what is PTR? Power is nothing but, you know this already, P is equal to VI, or if you want to take in terms of voltages, you'll have V square by R, right? And if you take the RMS values, you will get the square root. Okay. So let us take that P equal to VI or V square by R concept. The incident value is V square by R. And what is incident wave? You know this already. We have derived this equation in the transmission line solution. V plus e raised to gamma L, because the length of the line is L, plus V minus e raised to minus gamma L. So this first term is your incident and the second term is your reflected. So what is the incident voltage? V plus e raised to gamma L. This first term will give you the voltage, incident voltage. I am taking the RMS value, so that's why root 2 I am taking, and it is V square. So this is your V square divided by R. For a transmission line, we know that the impedance is replaced with the characteristic impedance Z0. Okay, so this is your incident power. Now suppose here you have a gamma term. In gamma, you know gamma is expanded as alpha plus j beta. Suppose you have the phase 0. You are having only the alpha attenuation constant, because whenever now for our concept, the relationship, we are avoiding the phase term. That's why beta we are making it 0. So gamma will become equal to alpha. So if phase constant is 0, gamma is equal to alpha. So just rearrange modify this above equation, what we have written for power, incident power. Here you have gamma term, replace it with alpha term, and root 2 square will become 2 Z0. So 2 Z0. So equation 1 will give you the total incident power. V plus e raised to, instead of gamma, it will become alpha L whole square divided by 2 Z0. Root 2 square will become 2. This is incident power. Similarly, let us see the reflected power. What I am doing is, with reference to this particular figure, we have written this law of conservation of energy. I have just now got P incident. So similarly, I will get P reflected and I will make use of the star equation. Okay. So incident is over. Reflected power will be P reflected is equal to, we know it, P equal to VI or V square by R. And what is reflected value? If you see here, it is V minus E raised to minus gamma L. So I've written that V minus E raised to minus gamma L root 2. I forgot this square. So please put it up. Please put square. Okay. In the notes, this is missing. Please make this correction whenever I will upload it. Okay. Divided by root 2 into Z naught. Again, there is a mistake here. This root should not come here. It is simply Z naught. Okay. Denominator is R. So if you take this, my V minus E raised to, again, same thing. Gamma, replace it with alpha plus J beta. Beta is 0. Gamma is equal to alpha. So I have replaced. So denominator will be 2Z naught. So incident power and reflected power, we have got the equation 1 and equation 2. So what is similarly the power carried to the load? So PTR, transmitted power, it is again V square by R. Transmitted power is VTR. Referring to this figure, we have just now got what is incident power and what is reflected power. Now we are into this PTR. So it is nothing but VTR, whatever transmitted wave we get. So VTR e raised to gamma L divided by root 2. We want here, don't consider Z naught, transmission line characteristic impedance, because when incident power and reflected power we are considering, we are still into the input side. We have still not reached the load end. Okay, but when we reach the load, the power carried to the load we want. That's why don't take Z naught. It should be ZL. Okay, Z divided by the resistance, the impedance, we take it ZL. And again, directly I've taken this alpha. Okay, instead of gamma, it should be alpha plus J beta. Beta is 0. Gamma is equal to alpha. So if you rearrange and simplify, root 2 square will become 2ZL. So equation 3 is for PTR. So totally 3 equations we got. Incident power, equation 1. Reflected power, equation 2. Let me just erase this so that it is clear to you. Please make these corrections here. Okay, I have forgotten. This should be square and this root should not come. Then equation 3 will give you the transmitted power, final, your results, what I said. So what I will do, I will make use of that law of conservation of energy equation. Whatever incident power is there, some part gets reflected and remaining will get transmitted. I had told you reflected, you can consider it as even in transmission coefficient and reflection coefficient, you can consider efficiency and redundancy terms. So substitute those equation 1, 2, 3 in this above equation. I have substituted all the 3 values. Now simplification. What all terms gets cancelled, you can just see. There is no cancellation. 1 by 2 Z naught. Here at the LHS I have written as it is. This numerator I have taken it to the denominator of the RHS. So V plus, here you can see V plus e raised to alpha L square. Okay, it is square. Both are squares. So whole together putting square, and 2ZL is maintained as it is, and numerator as it is, denominator it should even come here also. So V plus e raised to alpha L whole square, and 2Z naught is maintained as it is. Now further simplification, I think 2 is common in all, here also, and here also 2 will go, that it gets cancelled. So 1 by Z naught is equal to, here e raised to alpha L is common, so they will cancel. You will be left with VTR by V plus whole square, and the ZL maintained as it is, plus here you can't cancel, you should keep it as it is, v minus e raised to minus alpha L by v plus e raised to alpha L whole square, and z0 is maintained as it is. Now this is as it is, LHS I have kept it, I have maintained it 1 by z0. RHS, if you see this first term VTR by V plus is nothing but your transmission coefficient T, transmitted wave by incident wave. So it is nothing but T. So square term, so T square by ZL plus the second term, if you see, reflected wave to the incident wave. Reflected wave V minus, incident wave V plus with the negative exponential and positive exponential term. That is nothing but your tau. I have used L just to indicate at the load end. Okay, so it is tau square, tau L square divided by Z0 maintained as it is. Now further this equation you can make use and rearrange the terms so that you can get the equations in a simpler form. Because if you observe this equation, whatever I will now put it in the square box, this equation has two Z0 terms. So I can further simplify this. So what I will do, I will club all together the Z0 terms at one place. So I will take the second term to the LHS. So 1 by Z0 minus tau L square by Z0 is equal to T square by ZL. Now take the LCM or take Z0 common. What you will get? 1 by Z0 common. First term will be 1 minus tau L square. And whatever denominator ZL is there, I have taken here to the numerator. It will come here. ZL by Z0, 1 minus tau L square. So T square is equal to ZL by Z0, 1 minus tau square. This is the relationship between T and tau. Important one, you have to remember this equation for problems. Many times this equation is useful to you. So please make sure you remember this equation. Even as a derivational part also it is important. Now there is one more relationship that exists between T and tau. Let us see what it is. In the question it will be mentioned like this. Prove that or show that 1 plus tau L is equal to tau. That's it. Okay. So in order to prove, whenever you in mathematics you have followed this, what you do in order to prove anything, you start from LHS, you arrive at the RHS. So we will do the same thing here. It's a very simple derivation. Okay, 2 lines. That I think for even for 4 marks is also, this is very big. For 4 marks can't be asked, for 2 marks probably. To prove that 1 plus tau is equal to T. So start with the LHS, take 1 plus tau. So 1 plus, replace tau by the known equation ZL minus Z0 by ZL plus Z0. Then take the LCM, ZL plus Z0 plus ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. Think Z0 gets cancelled. You will get 2 ZL by ZL plus Z0. This is nothing but transmission coefficient T. So it's very simple. There is one more relationship which we have derived. Otherwise, this is important derivation. Okay. Hope you understood these reflection coefficient and transmission coefficients. Then we will move to some of the problems based on how to find the reflection and transmission coefficients. So please make sure you're having calculators with you. As a note, I have written here, which we have already dealt in the previous sessions, how to convert rectangular to polar forms and vice versa. If A plus JB is your rectangular form, in order to get the polar form is nothing but you will get some magnitude and a phase. Okay. First thing is to convert rectangular to polar. How to find this magnitude? Square root of A square plus B square, and phase tan inverse of B by A. And to convert from polar to rectangular, you take A, that is A plus JB. A first value is got by magnitude, because polar form will be like this, magnitude and phase. So whatever magnitude will be given to you, take that magnitude and cos of this phase angle. Similarly, B is magnitude sine of phase angle. So that you will get it in rectangular form. So this is as a note I had written. This should have been shown to you much earlier before we solved those problems. Anyhow, never late. Let us see the problems. Hope the problem is clearly visible to you. Let us start. Hope you have got the calculators. A microwave transmission line has Z naught in rectangular form. It is given. Uh, Try to remember, when we are dealing with the reflection and transmission coefficients. Okay, so ZL and Z naught will be given to you, not the primary constants and all. In the earlier session, we had taken two problems wherein either the primary constants are given, you need to calculate gamma, alpha, beta, Z naught. In the second problem, vice versa, gamma and all everything was given to you. You found uh, primary constants RL, CG. But here, what data should be given to you? That depends on your equations for reflection coefficient and transmission coefficient. What is the equation for transmission coefficient? You have got 2ZL by ZL plus Z naught. And tau equation, that is ZL minus Z naught by ZL plus Z naught. So in order to find reflection coefficient and transmission coefficient, these values of the impedances are necessary. So this will be the data given to you. Okay, let us read the problem. So Z naught is equal to 120 by J30 ohm, and it is connected to microwave generator with a frequency. So frequency is given to you. Let's see where it is utilized. The line is terminated in the load, that is ZL is given to you 40 minus J10 ohm. So we need to find the reflection coefficient tau, transmission coefficient T, and further the question is continued. You need to verify, we have derived these two relationships, T equals to 1 plus tau and T square equals to ZL by Z naught 1 minus tau square. So you need to verify. Verification means you should start with LHS or RHS, arrive at the other end, RHS or LHS. So let us start first, reflection coefficient, direct formula. So tau L is equal to ZL minus Z naught by ZL plus Z naught. Both data are given to you. And one more thing, before solving, you can even list the data. That should be your first step. I have not done that. So list the data first. Z naught and ZL are given to you. Even frequency is given to you. Okay. This is the listing of data. Then start with the reflection coefficient. ZL and minus Z naught. 40 minus J10 minus 1. There is a negative sign. So I think this sign will change here inside. 120 minus you should get. There is some mistake, I guess. Check out what mistake I have done here. 40 minus J10 is ZL minus Z naught is 120 plus J30 I have written. I think it should be minus 30. And similarly denominator, it is as it is, no problem. Here I did a mistake. 40 minus 120 is minus 80, and the J term, I guess you will get, okay, only write up mistake I have done, otherwise I have added it. See, 10 and 30, totally you will get 40, and denominator 120 plus 40 is 160, 30 minus 10 is 20. Okay, check whether verify, cross verify with my answers. These ratios, it is difficult to solve further. So what you do, you convert these rectangular forms to polar forms. It will become easy. You will get the ratio form. Okay, fine. So you have got the same. So numerator 80 minus 80 minus J40. If you convert, you will get 89.442 and angle is 26.56 degrees. Remember degrees. And denominator 160 plus J20. Magnitude you will get 161.245, angle 7.125 degrees. So once you get a conversion from rectangular to polar for both numerator and denominator, it is easy further to calculate. Magnitude, take the ratio 89 by 161. See what you will get. I have got 0.5546. Okay, fine. So you have got the answer. And angle, as I had told you even earlier in while solving the problems, when you get the angles in the ratio form, when you apply the logarithms and indices concept, you have already studied. When you apply log term, what will happen? The ratio will become subtraction. So 26 minus 7, you'll get some 19.435 degrees. So this is your tau reflection coefficient. Okay, everyone have got 19.435. Okay. So this is in polar form. Now, if you wish to convert it, you can convert this back to the rectangular form as well. Okay. In the rectangular form, this is the answer. In your textbook, it is given in this way, minus and minus. I don't know why they have taken negative, because if you take what 0.55, you just try to convert this. Hope you will get this, because if you take this equation as well as this, you will get the same. They have taken both negative, because maybe when you verify, okay, when you verify the relationship for t and tau, this t and tau relationship, probably if you take the first whatever answer we got, you may not get the verification correctly. So they have applied negative sign to both. So tan inverse of b by e, both negative negative, again positive angle only you'll get. So second term, hope you get it. And what the problems which I'm solving and which I have solved till now, all are your prescribed textbook problems only. So try to do this change. Whatever positive values both, they have converted to negative. The reason may be while verifying, if you take this, you may not get the verification correctly. So that's why both are taken negative here. And after this, second one, t value, transmission coefficient, again 2 ZLY, ZL plus Z0. Take the ratio, ZL is given to you, denominator will be same. So conversion not needed. Already you have converted it, 161. Only numerator you need to convert to the rectangular to polar form. I have got 82.462. Angle I have got negative. You verify. I think you will get negative only because one value is negative here. Tan inverse of b by a. Negative value you'll get. So minus 20 by 80 minus 1 by 4, you get minus 14. Tan inverse of minus 1 by 4. So if you take the ratio, these ratio negative. Yes, okay, fine. You have got the negative value. Then transmission coefficient, amplitude 0.5114, angle, you need to subtract, already negative sign, one more negative you need to add, 14 plus 7, and 21 point something you'll get with a negative sign, angle, and convert this to rectangular form. So please try to verify this also. I have got 0.477 minus j 0.1846. Verify this. Once you verify this, this is left to you. You try to get this t plus, t equals to 1 plus tau. Okay, you have got this correctly. Verification is left to you as a homework. Please do it. Nothing you need to take 1 plus tau, because you can't start with t and arrive at 1 plus something. So take RHS first. Substitute what all we have got, and you arrive at the value. Check whether you will get the same or not. Verification is left to you. And one more verification, I have not done it, so please do it. I think 2 verifications are required, t square and t. So please complete that, take it as a homework. Verification part is left to you. Second problem, let me quickly handle. It is in the same way again, Z0 and okay, no, here you need to, the question is a little bit different here. It's important. A microwave transmission line has a characteristic impedance Z0. Z0 is given to you as usual, And in the earlier problem, ZL was given. Here you need to find ZL. ZL is unknown. However, T is given to you. Capital T is given to you. You need to find reflection coefficient and ZL. Okay, a little bit different problem. So what you do, start with the listing of the data. Z0 is given. For my safety, what I did, whatever rectangular polar forms are given, I have already converted to rectangular so that I can directly use it in the problem. Z0, rectangular and polar both. T also, polar is given, rectangular I have converted. I need to find ZL and tau. Okay, so let us start. First, I need to find reflection coefficient tau. Simplest is T is given to you. Tau, how you can find, taking the relationship between T and tau. You can also take one more relationship. What is the one more relationship between T and tau, which we have already derived? T square is equal to ZL by Z0 1 minus tau square. We could have used this, but ZL is unknown. Z0, okay, Z0 is given to you, but there are two unknowns in one single equation. You can't solve it. So that's why this equation we cannot use it. So only left the left option is option left with us is 1 plus tau. So that's why I have used this equation. This tau is unknown to you. So t minus 1 will be tau. So simply, it's very simple, first term. And whatever answer rectangular form I have got, that I have converted it to polar form. Now what is the next thing? I need to find Z0. ZL. For that, let us make use of the reflection coefficient equation. Tau is equal to ZL by Z0 minus ZL plus Z0. You can directly take this equation. What you can do, cross multiply and collect all ZL together and simplify. It will take some time. You can try that solution directly by using this equation. Tau is equal to ZL minus Z0 by ZL plus Z0. What I can do, cross multiply with tau is equal to this thing, collect all ZL together and get the equation for ZL. So ZL is equal to, you will get something, numerator by denominator. Solve this equation and you can continue. Or let us try to make this equation bit simple. How we can do? There is nothing here means there is one. So I will make use of componendo and dividendo formula using mathematics. So with that, what the first term will be? Tau plus 1 by tau minus 1 is equal to ZL minus Z0. ZL minus Z0 plus ZL plus Z0 numerator. First numerator will be added, denominator you need to subtract. ZL minus Z0 minus ZL plus Z0 you have, so minus into minus will become, so minus into plus will become minus Z0. So numerator Z0 term gets cancelled, denominator ZL term gets cancelled. Yes. Okay. So what you get? 2ZL divided by minus 2Z0. Okay, it's 2 cancels. So minus ZL by Z0 is equal to tau plus 1 by tau minus 1 you'll get. So if you take this negative sign to the other side, you will get whatever I have written. That is what I have written, 1 plus tau by 1 minus tau. I have applied the negative power here in the denominator, negative value to the denominator. Okay, the simplification using componendo and dividendo rule of mathematics, you will get ZL by Z0. So this is very simple. You can solve it very easily. Okay, instead of going for longer process, this is easier for you. So ZL will be equal to, this is unknown to you, Z0 into this equation. Now further substitution and solution. Hope you can do this. Solve this. The solution is left to you. I'm leaving the solution to you because already some problems we have solved it. So try to solve it, and you can ask me, you can verify. The answer is already there on the screen. And there is one more problem as a homework I'm giving you. I'm sharing this. This is your third problem. This problem's photo I will be putting in the WhatsApp group. Try to solve this third problem.